the April 14th Planning Commission meeting. My name is Mariel Caballero, and I am the chair of the Planning Commission. This meeting is being held via Zoom conference call due to the COVID-19 crisis. Members of the public may participate by following the instructions listed on the agenda. You may also view and listen to the meeting on livestream cable TV, Granicus, and YouTube. If you would like to provide public comment, you have two methods to identify yourself to provide public comment. All members of the public will remain on mute until the individual identifies they would like to speak and you are unmuted by staff. Following roll call during summary of hearing procedures, we will review how the public may provide comment during today's session. At this time, I'll do roll call for the commissioners. Vice Chair Bonilla.
Here.
Commissioner Casey.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia.
Here.
Commissioner Lardenois.
Here.
Commissioner Oliverio. Commissioner Torrens.
Here.
And Commissioner Caballero is also here. So we have 6 out of 7 commissioners present. The procedure for this hearing is as follows. After the staff report, applicants and appellants may make a 5-minute presentation. City staff will call out the names of the public who have identified the items they would like to speak on. You may identify yourself by using the raise hand feature on Zoom, clicking *9 on your phone, or you may call 408-535-3505. Again, 408-535-3505. Or you can email planning support staff at sanjoseca.gov. Planning support staff all together at sanjoseca.gov and identify your name, phone number, and what items you would like to speak on. As your name is called, city staff will unmute you to speak. After we confirm that your audio is working, your allotted time will begin. Each speaker will have 2 minutes. Speakers using a translator will have 4 minutes. After the public testimony, the applicant and appellant may make closing remarks for an additional 5 minutes. Planning commissioners may ask questions of the speakers. Response to commissioners' questions will not reduce the speaker's time allowance. Staff will unmute the speaker to respond to the commissioner. The public hearing will then be closed, and the Planning Commission will take action on the item. The Planning Commission may request staff to respond to public testimony, ask staff questions, and discuss the item. If you challenge these land use decisions in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at this public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the city at or prior to the public hearing. The Planning Commission's actions on rezonings, pre-zonings, general plan amendments, and code amendments is only advisory to the City Council. The City Council will hold public hearings on these items. Section 20.120.400 of the Municipal Code provides the procedures for legal protest to the City Council on rezonings and pre-zonings. The Planning Commission's action on conditional use permits is appealable to the City Council in accordance with Section 20.100.220 of the Municipal Code. So at this time, I'm calling this meeting to order, and our second item on the agenda is public comment. This is for items that are not on the Planning Commission agenda, and the public can raise their hand at this time if they would like to speak to an item not on the agenda tonight. Staff, I don't see any hands. Did you have any speakers who identified they'd like to speak on public comment?
No, we do not.
Okay. So we will go ahead and move on to item number 3, which is deferrals and removals from the calendar, and there are no items. Item number 4 is the consent calendar, and there are no items. So we will move to item number 5, which is the public hearing. And at this time, I am opening the public hearing on item 5A, which is CP 20-015, which is an administrative hearing for a conditional use permit to allow the construction and operation of a 6-story, 83 feet in height, mixed-use project, including 3,000 square feet of commercial space and podium parking on the ground floor with 194 units of 100% affordable multifamily residential development on the upper floors on an approximately 1.49 gross acre site situated on the south side of Alum Rock Avenue between South Sunset Avenue and McCreary Avenue. Project manager is Laura Miners.
Okay, thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, and Planning Commissioners. My name is Laura Miners, the Planning Project Manager for this request. This is a request for a conditional use permit to allow the construction of a 6-story mixed-use building, including commercial retail use and podium parking on the ground floor, and 194 multifamily residential units on the upper floors. This is a 100% affordable housing project located at 1936 Alum Rock Avenue. The site is currently vacant. Adjacent land uses include a commercial strip mall across Alum Rock Avenue to the north, a landscaping and gardening supply outlet that abuts Lower Silver Creek to the east, single-story residential units to the south, and mixed-use commercial and multifamily residential uses to the west. The site is within the Urban Village General Plan land use designation, the Alum Rock Urban Village Plan area, and the MSG Main Street Ground Floor Commercial Zoning District. Mixed-use projects with ground floor commercial and residential units above are allowed with a conditional use permit. The project is consistent with all relevant general plan policies, Alum Rock Urban Village Plan policies, the development standards of the zoning ordinance, and council development policies. At this time, I would like to turn the presentation over to Rima Mahmood, the Environmental Project Manager, to discuss the CEQA process and recent public correspondence regarding the environmental concerns. Rima?
Thank you, Laura. Rima Mahmood, Planning Division Environmental Team. A mitigated negative declaration was prepared for this project because no significant and unavoidable impacts were identified in the analysis. The mitigated negative declaration and the supporting initial study was circulated for public review and comment from January 25th, 2021 through February 15th, 2021. The analysis in the initial study identified significant impacts for biological resources, hazards and hazardous materials, and transportation traffic. Mitigation measures were developed to reduce these significant effects to less than significant levels and were included in the initial study. Comments on the mitigated negative declaration were received from the County of Santa Clara Roads and Airports Department pertaining to the transportation study area, from the Valley Transportation Authority, wanting confirmation that the current project is a different proposal than the previous Silver Creek mixed-use development proposal for that project site, from the Plato Arroyo Neighborhood Association and Eastgate, with clarifications on the urban village designation and the hazardous materials at the project site, and from the Alum Rock Urban Village advocates regarding the aesthetics, open space, and affordable housing restrictions. Responses to these comments were included in the responses to comments document, which was posted on the city's website on April 7th, 2021. The comments did not result in new impacts or require recirculation of the mitigated negative declaration. A mitigation monitoring and reporting program has been prepared to implement the mitigation measures. 3 comment letters were received after the comment period ended and were forwarded to the Planning Commission. I will briefly address these comments now. On February 18, 2021, we received comments from the Valley Transportation Authority regarding the following topics: bicycle accommodations. The response from city staff is the type of bicycle racks and ADA compliant doors to the bicycle storage areas are details that will be addressed during the building construction stage and do not pertain to the adequacy of the CEQA analysis. The comments on safety were related to driveway signage and bollards and bus driveway crossings, and these will be worked out during the grading permit stage. A mitigation measure, Trans-1, was included to ensure that curb cuts are designed with safety in mind. There were also comments regarding bus stop improvements. And this comment is directed to ongoing development review coordination meetings between the city and the VTA. And these comments also do not pertain to the adequacy of the CEQA analysis. On April 7, 2021, we received comments from Danny Garza regarding contamination on the property. A phase 1 environmental site assessment and a phase 2 environmental site investigation were prepared for the project. These reports were included as Appendix D and Appendix E to the initial study. These documents were prepared in accordance with industry standards by professional geologists and were reviewed and approved by the city's Environmental Services Department staff. On April 12, 2021, we received further comments from Danny Garza regarding his Public Records Act request dated March 26, 2021. The city is currently preparing responses to that request, and responses will be submitted by April 22nd, 2021. None of these comments submitted after the public comment period for the mitigated negative declaration pertain to the adequacy of the CEQA analysis, do not result in any new impacts, and does not require recirculation of the mitigated negative declaration. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Rima. Planning staff also received additional public correspondence since the staff report was prepared. On April 12th, 2021, we received an email from Human Sotoya, the adjacent neighbor of at 1948 Alum Rock Avenue, with concerns about the project's height, setbacks, and open space. The height, setbacks, and open space provided by the project are consistent with the city's development standards and policies, with the provisions of the state density bonus law, as discussed in detail within the staff report. We also received a letter of support from Silicon Valley at Home on April 8th, and a letter of support from Silicon Valley Leadership Group on April 9th. At approximately 4 p.m. today, we received an additional letter of support from the Hernandez family located at 111 South Sunset Avenue. These are in addition to the letters of support already discussed in the staff report. Staff therefore recommends that the commissioners find that the project is in conformance with the California Environmental Quality Act and approve the conditional use permit. This concludes staff's presentation. I will now turn it over to the applicant team led by Darren Berberian.
Thank you, Laura. Could we also on Darpini from AO have control so we can share his screen for our slides?
Alan, are you not able to share your screen?
I'm currently not able to share my screen. It says you cannot share screen while the other participant is sharing. There we go. One moment. All right, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Thank you, everyone.
Take it away, Darren.
You have 5 minutes.
Commissioners. Okay, thank you, everyone. Commissioners, really appreciate you being here today. Alan from AO and myself, Darren Berberian from Pacific West Communities, are going to kind of go back to back here on some. Thanks again for reviewing our project. Just we have several internally, we have financing, internal and external capital sources. We have internal architecture, construction, asset management and ownership, and captive insurance services. Next slide, Alan. Next slide, Alan. Oh, there we go. Our production history since inception of 1998. We currently have 165 developments across the United States, predominantly in California, 10,000 units. We have charters, commercial, 12 assets totaling 120,000 square feet. Next slide, Alan.
Give it a second. All right, and I'm Alan Darpini. I represent the architects, AO Architects. We're based in Orange County. We have over 45 years experience doing multifamily residential. We've done hundreds of projects throughout California and across the country as well. Shown are just a few examples of our work. We really strive to gain community input and see our projects all the way through from schematic to completion opening day. And that's kind of our firm philosophy. So we are very much integrated in the process and dedicated to our clients and our communities.
Thanks, Alan. Next slide. I may
Well,
have
that
a
is
little
nice.
bit of a delay on my end.
Yes, we do.
Okay, here's some original conditions of the property upon purchasing it. As you can see, very dilapidated structures. Go to the next one, Alan. And this is the commercial building that was on the frontage there, which was an old aquarium shop. Single family on the site as well. A year and a half ago, we obtained permits to demo the buildings due to the dilapidated structures and health and safety of the community. Go to the next one, Al.
So here we have our site plan for this project. As stated, it's on 1936 Alum Rock. It's on a narrow site, again, currently vacant. We're proposing a 3,000 square feet of commercial space along the frontage of Alum Rock Avenue, and that will be available to a community nonprofit or otherwise displaced local business. We also have our leasing lobby. This is the main entry point for tenants as well as potential residents. And we provide behind this kind of frontage area, we provide commercial parking and residential parking on the entire ground floor. The main entry is off of Alum Rock Avenue, and we have a secondary entry off of Tierra Encantada Way, which is behind the neighboring project to our south. Upper level, we're providing courtyards and amenity spaces for our residents. We're providing a mix of studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms. So we're really trying to diversify our potential residences and allow for the community occupation.
Thank you, Alan. So we wanted to make sure everybody's aware here that we spent a lot of time, prior to this project coming to you today. We do have an previously approved project of 94 units and a school, which was started about 4 years ago. So over that time, and obviously the time during this process, we have met with many different groups within the community, individually and as groups. A few examples are the community named the project. Villa del Sol was sent out in a survey monkey to the community and was picked. The color palette was picked. We've met with the organizations you see here: Alum Rock Business Association, Meta, Somos Mayfair, Latino Business Foundation, Vegelution, and Aruba. Due to the last community meeting that we had, we actually went through a significant design change. We completely redesigned the elevations, which you'll see next. Also, I want to mention the property had environmental contamination, as you guys saw there. What happened was we had some tanks, underground tanks, that were removed about 20 years ago. And when they were removed, a plume was formed. It took us about 2 years to do remediation, and we got case closure from the Santa Clara county in March of 2019, or sorry, 2020. So
Darren?
yes.
Darren and Alan, your 5 minutes has actually elapsed for your initial public presentation. So at this time, we actually need to move to public comment, but you'll have another 5 minutes after public comment.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay.
Great. So at this time, I'd like to move to public comment for this item. And I see there we have 2 hands. So anybody else who'd like to speak, please raise your hand now. And staff, if we could, actually, Alan, if you could stop sharing your screen at this time so that staff can turn on the timer, and please put 2 minutes on the timer. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Pamela, we can hear you.
Hi. Thank you, Planning Commissioners and members of the Planning Commission this evening for the opportunity to speak on this item. I am a child care advocate and resident of San Jose, representing Parent Voices, Santa Clara County. I understand that the amenities in this project, like many projects, they can make or break a community. And what I don't see in this project is a space for childcare, which is something that our community needed very much pre-pandemic. There were a lack of 16,000 spaces in the city of San Jose, and co-locating childcare with affordable housing projects is one strategy that our city has to alleviate our community's need for more ECE facilities. Research shows that childcare is a valuable community infrastructure that is related to housing and transit, and it is exceedingly rare for neighborhoods to have affordable housing, job opportunities, high quality childcare, education, and public transit options. This project puts it walking distance to VTA light rail and bus lines with commuter access to Highway 101 and 680. And childcare that's located near housing, jobs, and transit reduces trip counts and traffic congestion, as many families who lack access to local care may drive an extra 45 minutes to entrust their young children with a qualified care provider. Early care education is a 2-generation workforce issue, and it is essential to supply the workforce of today and vital to developing our workforce tomorrow. Businesses need parents to go back to work, and parents need childcare to return to work. So we are urging you to push for the inclusion of childcare in this new development and all future developments in the city of San Jose. There's no better time than now to invest in our future generations. Thank you. Good night.
Hi, Rick, you are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin to speak.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Good evening. My name is Rick Lasalvis. I'm with Silicon Valley at Home. We are the voice of affordable housing in Silicon Valley. We very much support the Villa del Sol mixed-use project. It's 100% affordable, and it's going to bring much needed homes, 190 homes to the Alum Rock Urban Village area. And not only that, as mentioned, Pacific West Communities has worked very closely with the community to integrate feedback into the project. For example, that 3,000 square feet of commercial space is going to be made available to locally displaced businesses or nonprofits rent-free, which speaks a little bit to the opportunity of the last speaker. So I think that's a huge community benefit. Certainly that by itself aligns with council and commission goals, but it'll also add an element of economic vibrancy to the Alum Rock business corridor itself, which is a little bit more quiet or a little bit less occupied in that area. The project will certainly help the city reach its 25% affordability target in urban village areas, and we're very strong advocates for that goal. So we see this project as a huge community benefit, and we strongly urge the Planning Commission to advance the project. With that, I thank you for your time, and I'll let you have a great night.
Melissa, you are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin to speak.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm a resident of San Jose and just want to also voice my support for this Alum Rock project. It sounds like exactly the kind of housing we need here in San Jose because it's inclusive and mindful of all income levels, which is part of San Jose continuing to be, the thriving metropolitan city that, I moved here for, that I love. And I see a lot of younger people struggling to continue to live here and think it's important for us to build as much housing as possible, especially if it's going to be close to transit, walkable community, and the sustainably built and eye towards environmentalism is also just such a benefit. I think this is a great project. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the Planning Commission. My name is Corey Smith. I'm with the Housing Action Coalition. We are a regional nonprofit that advocates for more homes at all income levels, and we are here in strong support of the proposal in front of you today. There are a number of fantastic things about this project that the project team was able to highlight earlier. Proximity to transit, the pedestrian-friendly walkways, the lead silver building certification amongst them. A couple things I did want to highlight though, and it was mentioned earlier by Rick from SV at Home, the commercial space for small businesses and for local businesses is really, really valuable. And I know Commissioner Bonilla and Councilmember Carrasco have both really emphasized the need for economic vibrancy on the Alum Rock corridor. And we really think that this aligns with their work and the goals of the city. We also shared earlier today a petition that we have co-hosted with Silicon Valley at Home. And even since the follow-up email, there are now 16 additional individuals who expressed support for these homes. 75% of those people are San Jose residents. It's obviously very difficult for a lot of people to engage in an evening planning commission hearing. So please consider their support when you're making your decision here this evening. And thank you for all of your time.
That concludes our speakers.
Great, thank you so much. So at this time, we'll go ahead and go back to Darren and Alan. And if we could let them share the screen again. And they have 5 minutes to conclude and respond to any comments.
I don't know if you could pull up that slide where we left off.
And Darren, you're cutting in and out, so I don't know if it would be beneficial to turn off your video and just use audio because we're having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, let me try. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
In this
Can you hear me
Zoom age, everybody has bandwidth issues.
I apologize. Alan, will you pull up the next slide?
Yeah, 1 second. Still got that lag a little bit. There it goes.
Okay, there we go. So this is the original design prior to our community meeting. I just want everyone to take a look at that. And then after our community meeting, the next slide is what we spent several months back and forth with staff to come up with something that we feel very proud of and heard the community. This is the difference here. And Alan, maybe you could talk to a little bit about the elevations and then the next few slides to kind of go through the frontage as well.
Sure. So, we had originally proposed a contemporary design, the one you just saw, and we received very strong and very proud community input requesting that, we take a more traditional and localized approach to the architecture. Given that, the Mexican-American Heritage Plaza is just down the street, we received a strong input, requesting that we employ more traditional and Spanish colonial styling. So you can see that we've done that. We looked to historical examples of Spanish architecture and also modern examples of Latino American architecture in Central and South America, and have kind of combined them in these sort of intermingling languages. You can see the more contemporary language here and the more traditional language with barrel tile roofs and archways underneath. This is the Alum Rock frontage. You can see right here, this area here is the 3,000 square feet of commercial space on the ground floor. And then of course, above are affordable units. And then one second. This is the side of the building, if you will. The property adjacent to us is very narrow and fronts Silver Creek, so it's likely never going to be developed. So we wanted to really make sure that this elevation was given particular detail just as much as the front, because it's likely that it will always be visible to the neighborhood and the community. So you can see that we've included lots of awnings that cast shadows, again with the archways, landscaping, barrel tile roofs mixed in with more contemporary architecture languages. And then here you can see a rendering of the Alum Rock street frontage. So this is, at eye level looking at the commercial frontage. You can see this is the entry point for the commercial frontage. There's another entry point at the other end of the building. And we've done storefront glass all the way down to provide maximum visibility to that community business or nonprofit that ends up occupying this space. We have wide sidewalks provided by a mandated 15-foot setback that includes planting, seating, and shade trees and awnings as well. So we're really trying to create, like some of our commenters said, a more active frontage in the Alum Rock Business District. Darren, you want to take over from here?
Yes. So permit process will take about 8 to 10 months. Projects anticipated to be delivered in 2023 or 2024. This is a modular construction, LEED Silver. And then, as everyone mentioned, we're going to be giving the 3,000 square feet of commercial, we'll be giving rent-free to a displaced business or nonprofit. And we're open to any questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, we'll take commissioner questions or questions for staff. And I'd like to recognize Commissioner Oliverio and then Commissioner Torrance.
Thank you, Chair. Question for the applicant. Would you perceive that the space would be divided between one or two tenants or one tenant, or what do you picture, or what could 1,500 space with a shared bathroom accommodate two different types of businesses?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're kind of kicking that around, and it's going to be kind of interviewing the businesses or nonprofits, whoever's going to be utilizing the space. And maybe there's one perfect tenant for that site, or maybe there's two. And if there is two, we will split it up and make it accommodating for two businesses.
Great, thanks. And I did want to share that I think for modular design, it's pretty impressive the attention that you're able to do in modular design with the side view of the building that you shared. So just wanted to share that comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll recognize Commissioner Torrance and then Vice Chair Bonilla and Commissioner Lardinois.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you to the applicant and staff for all of your hard work on this. I've been following this one for a while, and I've been really impressed with the amount of outreach and community support that you have garnered in the process. So that's always great to see. Plus, there's so much affordable housing, 100%. It's awesome. But I do have a question about modular construction. This is newer to me, a newer concept. And so I'm wondering if you could just explain how that works and how that holds up in an earthquake.
Alan, you want to take that one?
Interesting. Okay. As to the earthquake portion, modular construction is also very new to me, but it has been vetted. We are currently building one modular project just down the street from this one that's midway through construction. We have our structural consultants, and I wish one of them was on to give you a more detailed answer on that. But as for how it works, what happens is this square here, that's one unit and that's one module. So what happens is this module gets built in TPC's factory. They work with fabricators to make these modules, and we've designed the modules ourselves. AO has designed the units and the unit plans themselves. So these units are getting built in a factory. They're getting loaded onto a truck, 90% finished. That truck drives them to the site, and then a crane on site picks the unit up and literally stacks them up like Lego blocks. And then when all of them are stacked, the outside of the building is finished cladding, it's painted, and the inside of the building is finished with plumbing and electrical fixtures. But the reason why it's, one of the reasons why this project is LEED Silver is because of, this kind of sustainable approach. Modular construction creates about 30% less construction waste, because for example, you're not cutting a 2x4 on site. The 2x4 is cut in the factory and it's optimized for efficiency, and then it's shipped to the site. So it creates not only a much more efficient and sustainable construction phase, it also creates a shorter construction phase. So this project will go up, several months faster than a stick-built project or a standard built project of a similar size. Does that answer all your questions?
Yeah, definitely. And if maybe there's something in the plan that I overlooked as far as the structural engineering of it, but if you are able to follow up with those structural engineers and send something over or send me a link to something about that, I would appreciate it.
Of course.
And so those are my questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. We'll move on to Vice Chair Bonilla.
Yeah, I've done some homework on Commissioner Torrance' question, but I don't want to pretend to be an expert. So we'll allow for that information to get shared with her a little later. I'm going to treat my comments in tranches. I think tranche one is obviously members of the community have asked environmental questions, and those questions, it sounds like the city is taking all the right steps. However, the answers aren't going to be available until April 22nd, which is clearly after this meeting date. So we can't address that. Just wanted to put that on the record that the city is in fact trying to get those answers. And as far as the second portion of my comments is, I have been really impressed with how this group and their lead advisor, Pete Carrillo, have really gone out of their way to listen to community feedback. I recognize things aren't perfect and someone will always, have a different point of view, and we can respect and appreciate that. But as someone that literally drives down this street every single day from my home to my office and back and forth, seeing what's there right now and seeing what this can be and will be, and in terms of the vibrancy that we're looking for along that corridor, this is exactly what I envision. I'm not going to pretend to take credit that this is something I've done, but definitely I'm fortunate to be in a position to be able to vote for this. For me, from a concern standpoint, I'm much more concerned about the property right next door at 1948 Alum Rock. I think a member of the community raised an idea of maybe getting the city and Valley Water District and the private property owner to work together and find a solution for that particular parcel in terms of not only the environmental concerns, but equally what I call the emotional environmental concerns, which is our community is in need, particularly after COVID. We are in need of things that are going to uplift. We are equally in need of recognizing that we are in a moment in history where we have a chance to reset a lot of the generational issues of the past in this community, and now moving forward, creating the space for long-term economic vibrancy, community, all types of economic classes working together, living together. So I do want to commend the group for that. I do want to commend Mr. Carrillo for his leading the way in terms of bringing people together. And this is definitely something I'm really excited about. Again, not to minimize some of the concerns that folks have. However, candidly, number one, the concerns are outside of our purview as planning commissioners. And number one, we don't have the answers anyway. And candidly, it's a conversation much better left for the for the city council that has a tremendous amount of discretion. So with that, I do want to thank you all for your diligence, for your community involvement, and I hope that maintains throughout this process, because I think what we're looking for in this community is long-term partners, not absentee landlords, because candidly, that's a little bit of what got us in trouble here. My apologies. My daughter's in the screen bringing me my dinner. My apologies. But thank you for what you've done, and those are my comments. I yield my time.
Thank you. Commissioner Lardenois.
Yeah, I was curious, towards the end of the presentation, you mentioned that the commercial space would be rent-free. Would that be in perpetuity, or like, how does that work? I don't think I've seen those kinds of models for commercial spaces much.
Right. No, this is new. This is new for us, for everybody. I think we're kind of learning as we go. And, we wanted to give something back to the community, and, we're not commercial developers, and we just figured it would be best to, give back to a displaced business or nonprofit. We would obviously provide a shell with improvements and kind of keep it at something that someone can tailor make and into something, but we will take care of the building of it. We would give it rent free, and we would just, it's going to be a learning process for us, because we want to meet with businesses and nonprofits, figure out what's the biggest need, and potentially provide this for them. That's our goal, and that's what we want to do. And we've actually received a lot of interest, and it's just going to be kind of understanding what's the best fit. And that's going to be more work with the community.
Thanks. And then also, I just want to say, echoing what Vice Chair Bonilla said about, how the work that was done with the community and, addressing needs that are in this community. And also, really appreciate this is a transit-oriented development and that it's 100% affordable. And I don't really see why, any reason why this commission or the city council wouldn't approve it. So I just want to make a motion right now to accept the staff recommendation.
Second.
Great. We have a motion and a second.
I have to complain to Commissioner Lardenois and Oliveira. I wanted to call the motion, but they beat me to it.
Yeah, and we still need to close the public hearing before we vote. So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Just give me a minute. Before we move on to further discussion on the motion, does Commissioner Casey or Commissioner Garcia want to make any comments or have any questions?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Great. And not seeing Commissioner Garcia's hand up either. So I just want to say that I echo everybody's comments so far. I think it's a visually beautiful project. I'm excited about the sustainability aspect related to LEED and modular design. I think that I really appreciate the architects and designers taking into account the history of the neighborhood and wanting to preserve that, even though we're building new construction, because identity is so important in this day and age and at any time for our community. And this really helps to preserve and blend better than I think the previous design did. We received a lot of letters and comments from folks prior to this meeting that was very supportive. And I think that I want to commend the staff and Pete for engaging the community in this way, because I think this is a great example of how we can do this and how community input can help create a project that's really great for our neighborhoods and meets their needs. And ultimately, this idea or this commitment to offering the commercial space free of rent to either a nonprofit or displaced businesses is exactly the kind of thing that we want to see in these neighborhoods that have been so impacted not only by COVID, but by other types of development and displacement. So really just so excited about this. Really, really excited about the 100% affordability and the location and transit and mobility related to this area. East Side definitely needs more transit oriented development. They are the ones who use transit most often. And so these types of developments are what we want to see from this. So, okay, so we have a second and we have a motion and a second on the floor to move the staff recommendation. Commissioner Torrance, I see your hand up. Did you want to make additional comments before we close the public hearing?
I do. I wanted to make one more comment, but I know Commissioner Oliverio, I think, had his hand up again before me.
Was that to make a motion, Commissioner Oliverio?
No, it was to make a comment.
Okay, so go ahead, Commissioner Oliverio, and then we'll come to Commissioner Torrance and then Commissioner Bonilla.
Thank you. I just wanted to share that this modular building, it's all approved by the state construction codes, state building codes. So whether it's earthquake or any measurement, it's all approved by the state. So that's what, we follow for the most part. And that, I think these have been being built in San Jose for plus over 20 years. You can see one right across the street from the main train station there at Cahill. That's all modular. And unlike some of the projects we've already approved as a planning commission this year or last year that have approximate the same density, market rate, low income, these modular ones are delivered much faster, which is pretty impressive as a timeline and such. So just wanted to say that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I think I'm next. Okay, thank you very much. So my comment is to Pamela, if she's still in the audience, and anyone else who cares to listen. I really related to what she was saying about the need for childcare, quality childcare. And so perhaps one idea is to maybe offer this to a childcare program, that ground floor space. Although I don't see a play area that they would need some outdoor space. I don't know how that would work in this area. But if it didn't, and this is coming from someone who is a childcare provider myself, and we have an amazing network of home childcare providers. And so this could be a chance for some of the surrounding neighbors to start up businesses having childcare programs. And or even finding a brick and mortar site to offer that. But with all of those new neighbors living there, that could be, it can be a very lucrative business, running a home childcare or a brick and mortar one. So just food for thought, had to take that chance to share some of my knowledge on that. So I yield the floor. Thank you.
Alan, it looked like you wanted to.
Yes, thank you. I'm not sure if I was allowed to speak out of turn or not, but to the commissioner's point, we actually do have, and I mean, not that my opinion matters much in this case, but I think the childcare idea is absolutely brilliant. We have on the ground floor actually 874 square feet of open space that we currently are offering to the public as a sort of a parklet, a mini park, if you will, just dawn to dusk. So it'll be open. Gates will open during business hours and gates will be locked after business hours. So, if it ended up being the child route, this could be closed off and used as a play space.
Thank you. Okay, Vice Chair Bonilla.
No, I want to jump on Commissioner Torrance' comments a little bit. Her suggesting a child care center there based on public comment. I want to say that the reason we're even having this conversation is because of a comment Darren made earlier when asked whether this had ever been done before. And I think his response, to paraphrase, was, no, we don't think so. We're kind of learning as we go. I want to commend them for doing that. I want to commend them for trying. And not only do I want to commend them for doing that, I actually want to use them as an example of everything that's right. And I'm talking about the philosophy here. So for those of you that maybe are opposing the project, I'm talking about the philosophies right now. This is exactly the kind of thinking we also need within our government. This is exactly the kind of thinking we need as we send this up to our older siblings, the city council, that also needs to be put out there, the county as well. I mean, this is exactly the kind of out of the box thinking that the post-COVID environment is giving us all the opportunity to develop. So I'm not trying to bloviate here, but I definitely do want to commend you all for that thinking and for your willingness to do that, because we're not for that. We wouldn't be having discussions about whether or not we should have childcare or not, or nonprofits or small businesses that are rent-free. This is just an example of what can happen when people simply step out of the line and create a new way of thinking.
Okay, so seeing no more hands from the commissioners, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. We do have a motion on the floor and a second, which is to approve the staff recommendation. I believe the motion maker was Commissioner Oliverio and the seconder was Commissioner Torrens for our commission secretary.
It was Commissioner Olivero, Madam Chair, and then Commissioner Ladino made the motion, and then Commissioner Olivero seconded.
Sorry, I got that wrong. Yes, so thank you, Robert. Okay, so would either Commissioner Lardinois or Oliverio like to speak to the motion?
No.
No.
Great. Would any of the other commissioners like to speak to the motion? No, okay. Vice Chair Bonilla, you still have your hand up.
Oh, my apologies. Have it.
All right, so I'm calling the question. Roll call vote. Vice Chair Bonilla.
Aye.
Commissioner Casey.
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia.
Aye.
Commissioner Lardinois.
Aye.
Commissioner Oliverio.
Aye.
And Commissioner Caballero is, Commissioner Torrens.
Aye.
And Commissioner Caballero is also an aye. So this item passes unanimously. Very exciting. Can't wait to see it in 2023 or 2024, hopefully by the end of 2023. When we're out and about in the Allen Rock neighborhood. So we'll move on to item number 6, which is referrals from City Council, Board, Commissions, or other agencies. I don't believe we have any items.
None, Madam Chair.
Okay, great. Item number 7A, which is under Good and Welfare, report from City Council. Robert, do we have a report?
Yes, we do. For March 3rd, the City Council approved Land Development Rezoning and Vesting Tentative Map for permits located at 3235 Union Avenue. This is the Campbell Union High School project that you referred to them. They approved it. On March 30th, City Council accepted the annual progress report on the implementation of the San Jose General Plan Housing Element and the housing successor to the Redevelopment Agency. They accepted and approved it. Also the historic landmark for the Greenwald House located at 1650 Center Road, that was also approved. And then conforming rezoning for real property located at 236 East Empire Street. That was also approved. And then yesterday, there were 5 items. Item number 10, 1A, B, C, and D were all conforming rezoning to bring zoning into conformance with the general plan land use designation under SB 330. Council approved all that. And then the Sobrado H project site development permit for property located at 282 South Market Street. That was also approved as it was referred from this commission to the City Council. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So item number B is review and approve action minutes from March 10th and March 24th meetings. Do we have any changes to the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Great. So motion to approve and by Oliverio, I think was the second, Commissioner Bonilla?
Bonilla, yeah.
Okay, thought that was your voice. Great. And do we have any discussion? Seeing no hands, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote. Vice Chair Bonilla?
Aye.
Commissioner Casey?
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia?
Aye.
Commissioner Lardinois?
Aye.
Commissioner Oliverio?
Aye.
Commissioner Torrens?
Aye.
And Caballero is also an aye, so minutes from the 10th and the 24th pass unanimously.
Chair,
Yes,
I had a question for staff through the chair.
yes.
Hey, so I think we pretty much have a strong idea what's on the agenda next for our next planning commission meeting. Can staff confirm it? Is it just one large item, or am I thinking that's not the case?
It's one large item for now, and there could be just one other item on consent.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So 7C is subcommittee formation reports and outstanding business for which we had no items. And item D is the commission calendar and study sessions. So the 2021-22 capital budget and 2021 through 25 capital improvement program study session is scheduled for May 12th of 2021. And then after our rather robust discussion related to the Berryessa project and the flea market, I requested a study session from city staff on anti-displacement really for small businesses. That study session is scheduled TBD. Unfortunately, I was informed by staff that it can't happen before our May 12th meeting, which is when the Berryessa plan comes back. But I think that just in general, given the items that will be coming before the commission over the next several months, that this was an item that I was very interested in. I thought other commissioners would be interested too, in just seeing the broader picture on what's happening with the city for anti-displacement of small businesses.
And thank you, Madam Chair. As we deliberate on an appropriate timeline or date for that, I just also wanted to let you know that the questions that you had specific to Berryessa have been responded to by staff, and I believe you should be getting it soon.
I got that email during the meeting, and I just want to remind commissioners that I know that sometimes we're not always able to ask every single question we're interested in, and you are able to email project managers directly, and that those communications become part of the public record. So and are distributed before the meeting. But if you have specific technical questions, please always remember that staff is a resource. Vera.
Yeah, you just said what I was going to say, which is that the rest of the commission will also receive the responses that you received, Chair.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if there are outstanding questions, I really encourage our commissioners to ask them, and especially as some of these larger items come forward, it's really great opportunity to get some of your questions answered before the meeting. So our next meeting is Wednesday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. I believe we're going to be in for a rather long night. So come hydrated and hopefully have your dinner beforehand. And with that, we'll adjourn the Planning Commission meeting until then.
Good night, everyone.
I'll see you all in May.
Good night.